June 8 will mark the 3rd anniversary of the first video on the UmbreonLibris channel. It's been quite the wild ride with far more ups than downs, and so today, Indigo is joining me on camera to help me bake a celebratory cake.
Hi. I'm Indigo. I'm his wife. I'm usually on the other side of the camera where I'm way more comfortable and not on this side. This is very scary.
As we go, I will also have a few exciting announcements to share with you, but first let's talk about this cake that we're gonna make. Indigo is a talented home baker. She makes great cakes, awesome brownies, and her cookies, and especially her cheesecake, literally the best I've ever had. But I have never made a cake before, so Indigo, how are you gonna help me through this?
My idea is to have a hazelnut and brownie cake. And because we are on UmbreonLibris' amazing channel,
Don't sound so sarcastic.
But yeah, we're gonna have it be like a little Umbreon cake.
So we already have all of the ingredients out. Left to my own devices, I would probably just like put everything in the bowl and then mix. So I'm guessing that there's a little bit more to that.
There's a little bit more nuance to it, yes.
So I guess we should get started?
Yes, absolutely. So let's start. Well, I'm following a recipe because I'm not that arrogant. So the first thing you're going to do is put some unsalted butter into the bowl. We're just going to loosen up the butter a little bit, and so you just grab our little hand mixer here. As you kind of scrape the sides, like try to get as much as you can, and then like have it like kind of be in the middle. Put down the hand mixer. God, really, you've never done this?
Wow, you noticed.
Now we can add our sugar. And feel free to like do like a sawing motion like back and forth. Like just like. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Good, because my arm is tired.
Time for the delicious hazelnut butter. We want every ounce and morsel. I even actually said to put more than the recipe calls for.
Well, I also poured more than you told me to.
Oh,
I think you told me 50 grams and I put 51.
Let it rip like a Beyblade.
Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of hazelnut.
Yeah, it's great. We can move on to the next step.
All right.
To the next chapter. So we want to incorporate the eggs. We have 3 of them, one at a time, while mixing.
How?
You can do it the pro way. If you're mixing with the left hand, and then you can crack the egg with one and then just drop it in,
Which I can't do.
which is very risky. Or you can just add 1 egg in, mix it until it's fully incorporated, and then do it step by step.
Okay. Do you want to help me so that I'll be mixing and you put the egg in?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want this to be a cake that I'm making? So I'm doing everything, and so obviously I'm gonna have to crack the egg then mix.
I am your wife and your ally. I'm here to support you and ensure your success.
Okay, then let's go for which option is going to be more successful. I'm guessing this is you crack the egg?
Sure. I'm gonna try to do this with 1 hand for the video.
Whoa! What a pro!
Okay, I'm not gonna do that once.
No, don't tempt fate.
Yeah.
Cake flour?
Yep.
Meat sift.
Pop it in there, yeah. And we'll do a pinch of salt. I'm gonna get you to fold this part because we just sifted in all that flour. So we don't wanna just like shove the mixer in there and possibly clump up the flour all over again. Mm-hmm. So all you do for folding is that you kind of like scoop underneath and then you kind of flip it over top. So just before all the flour disappears, we're going to add the very last ingredient, which is 2 tablespoons of milk.
Not looking too lumpy or anything?
No.
Smells like hazelnuts.
Smells delicious.
Oh, we're putting it into 2 of them.
2 of them, yes. Having a layered cake.
While those are in the oven.
Yes.
What are we doing?
We are making the other layers of our cake, and we are doing sort of a chocolate cakey brownie. We need melted butter and sugar. We have the melted butter in a mug because we ran out of bowls.
I'm glad you're here to tell me what does and doesn't count as smooth, because I would probably be like, yeah, this looks good. To be honest, I probably would have been like, yeah, this looks good a while ago.
Then we want to mix together our cocoa, salt, and baking powder. Oh, nice.
The presence of the eggs like really transforms the batter.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, and now we add in some water.
That's the coffee, right?
Yes.
The water that you soiled
Yes. So.
with coffee.
Yeah.
I hate coffee.
So whenever you're making anything with chocolate, consider adding some coffee. This recipe calls for some water, so I got some instant coffee and just mixed it in there. It won't taste the coffee at all. All it'll do is just enhance the chocolate flavor. Oh, we need the vanilla, flour, and the chocolate chips, and just gently
At the same time.
Yes, and just gently fold it in.
I remember this.
You remember this from your experience making cake before?
Yeah, exactly.
Smells delicious.
It does. Despite the coffee that I can't smell at all. So what are we doing with this extra batter?
We are going to put it into another pan so that it can make little Umbreon ears. Sorry. I forgot myself for a second. To really make this an UmbreonLibris cake, I thought it would be good to also honor your Brazilian roots. So I figured in between the layers of cake that we could have brigadeiro.
Ooh, brigadeiro sounds nice. Okay, and I know how to make that.
Yes, this is your territory, you know how to make it, so I'll just leave it to you.
Okay, this is just condensed milk, butter, and well, the Nesquik is what we have here in Canada. It's not the brand that I would use in Brazil, but it's what I have here. And we just heat it all up together until it gets nice and thick. That's it. Okay, while that second piece of the cake is in the oven, here's the first announcement that I have for you. If you've been to my recent streams, you know this already, but as of right now, I'm launching channel memberships as a new way that you can support the channel. If you become one of the Libros, yes, that is the name that we're going with, you get this badge next to your name in comments and live chat. You get access to this awesome roster of emotes that you guys helped me design, and this roster will grow as membership grows as well. And you also get access to a private Discord server where we have a small but really nice community. All of this for only $1 a month. It's the only membership tier, and you can become a Libro right now by clicking the join button below. My Patreon is still open as well, but it looks like the cake is about to come out of the oven, so let's go take care of that. So cakes are out of the oven and cooled. Brigadeiro is done and cooled. So what do we need to do now?
Okay, so now, because we want things to be very pretty, we're gonna level the cakes. Take your time with it. Don't force the level, otherwise you're gonna tear the cake.
I'm sorry about that noise.
I forgot about it, to be honest.
Oh look, there's cat hair on it. What a surprise! I want to.
This is a snack time. Very hazelnutty. Not doing nothing. Not doing any.
These should like be on wheels or something.
So I made Russian buttercream, which is basically creamed butter and sweetened condensed milk. And I dyed it as close as I could get to black. So the first thing I'm gonna have you do is make a ring right around the edge. very gently and use the table to your advantage.
Right, a turntable. Of course.
Yes.
I didn't do great, but it'll do. Now I'll just spatula this in here and just even it out.
Yep.
This got a little bit thicker. It cooled down more than I expected it to.
Put that just as close to... Flip it upside down.
Bottom up, okay.
Bottoms up. So what we want to do next is put on your crumb coat.
Oh, this goes on now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. How do I apply this?
Okay, so oh boy, this is the part that I was just like, how am I gonna instruct this? Put on like a good gob of it on top of the cake. So it's just kind of boop, 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 like a painter. Don't be too aggressive. This is the part of the process that you have to like look and see, like, is it favoring one side more than the other? Like,
There's some holes that are definitely staying.
how about we get it as smooth as we reasonably can, and we'll put that in the fridge so that it can set up.
All right, this seems like a good opportunity for me to tell you about Patreon. I'm expanding the number of tiers that I offer and adding some new rewards, including for existing patrons. You can check patreon.com/UmbreonLibris for all of the tiers and rewards, but I'll tell you about what's new. Starting next month, I'm making some changes to how Tin Tower Talks is recorded, so that we can have a question and answer period at the end, which will be open to patrons at the $5 level or higher. You'll be able to listen to the podcast recording live and then participate by asking a question. Tin Tower Talks doesn't happen every month, but I'm working out a way to ensure that every patron will get to participate in a reasonable number of episodes relative to how long they support at that level. The other new perk is that anyone supporting at the $10 level or higher will get to see a rough cut of most of my videos about a week before they go live, and actually have a chance to offer feedback. Based on that feedback, I might edit or even reshoot parts of the video, so it's not just an early access, but you actually get to help me make better videos. I hope that you'll be interested in these new perks. You can go to Patreon right now to sign up or adjust your support level, but because of the way that Patreon works, the new perks will only kick in starting in July. Okay, that's enough about Patreon. I do have one more thing that I want to announce, but I think the cake has been in the fridge for long enough. Okay, well, it isn't perfect, but it is better, and I don't think I can do any better.
That's okay. We still got some more decorating to do, so sure it'll be fine. Next, we're gonna put little ears. So we had that square pan earlier, so that produced that brownie right there. Cut it diagonally.
I will make it as even as I can. Are we gonna try to round these out?
I think so, yeah.
Even enough, as far as I'm concerned.
This is new territory for me. I've never done quite elaborate this decoration. I think if you cut off a little bit here and there, to round off the inner. Let's see if they can stand on their own.
No. Not, I mean, this one can't. This one can stand. This one's fine. This one doesn't.
Well, good thing we have the skewers.
Okay, yeah, I think the skewers will be enough.
Go all the way.
Now we hope it stays. It stays!
Yeah, basically like in the center so that it is. So I never decorate cakes this way. I prefer to decorate a cake so that like the exterior looks like the flavor that is interior. But this is a special occasion. This is your anniversary. Okay, let's cover it in icing.
God, I hope I don't tear it off. Fearing a little bit for this ear.
Yeah, it does look like it's gonna fall over. Okay, the cake is setting up in the fridge. I can't help myself. I have to participate now because we're going to be working with fondant, and I have never worked with fondant before. The batch that I made for the very first time yesterday to sort of prepare, and so I'm very, very excited to work with it.
So we're making a face for the Umbreon
We're
cakes,
making a little face, yeah.
And it's going to go on the side?
Yes.
We have an eye.
Yay!
Now we now have 2 eyes.
Wow, we can see twice as well now. So this is just for the highlight of the eye. And I'm just using the back tip, or the back of a piping tip.
Uh-oh. Obviously, we're gonna make the head ring with it. Guessing we're also making a ring for each ear.
And then also, I wanted to do a ring around the base. Umbreon ring.
Nice. All
We're
right.
in the end game now.
Cake is back after another bout in the fridge. I feel like it looks less smooth than it did before, but it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, here, take a side. We'll do it together. Do it as one.
Are we using the water just to clean it up?
Yeah.
The ring's not going to fit on the front, so we're going to have to like fold it,
Okay.
and then that'll dictate how far apart the eyes have to go.
Yeah.
Let's put the stripes on the ears on and hopefully not topple the whole thing. There we go. It looks pretty good. I mean,
It's your first cake.
it's not. It is my first cake. It's first time for both of us working with fondant and with this kind of icing. So I think all things considered is great. It is a little bit messier than like if either of us was professional, it wouldn't be messy. Or if you were working with the style of decoration that you normally do, which is not this, it wouldn't be messy. But I mean, come on.
That was great.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of us. Well,
All right.
mostly of you. I'm very proud of you. It's your first cake, and 3 years total milestone.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I'm very hungry. We've been working on this for a while, so I do want to try it.
Yes.
But I have one last announcement for you. This is going to be a quick one. My birthday is on July 2nd, and I'm going to host a charity fundraiser tournament. It will follow Series 9 rules, doubles format, and it will benefit a small local charity that's doing great work. I'm still working out the details, so I'll make another announcement later on, but this gives you the time to work out your team. So, shall we try it?
I'll let you do the honors. It's your beautiful cake.
Okay.
Yay! Cake!
And this is what it looks like on the inside.
Yay!
Not bad. I'm gonna try to get a piece that has like a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm failing terribly. You got a much bigger piece than I did. All right. I'll try harder next time. All right. For my first cake ever, it's really good. I mean, the recipe isn't mine or anything. Come on. It's because I'm trying to do this for TV. Normally, I know how to eat cake.
Do you want me to turn around? UmbreonLibris can eat cake.
Flavor's really good. I knew that I would like the hazelnut cake because you've made that part of it before, and it's really good. But yeah, with the whole like combination.
Yeah, it's just like the hazelnut cake by itself is great, but then like you can't have hazelnut without chocolate. So the chocolate cake that's in there too really helps.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Indigo, for helping me celebrate. And thank you to all of the Libros who support this channel, whether on Patreon or anyone who's already signed up on YouTube. Great, good for you, thank you. But as usual, a special shout out to luxury patron Ethan from Chicago. We'll see you in the next chapter. Bye.
Bye.
I can't like do the walk out thing. Okay.